Now let me sit back and reminisce for a moment here about how I ended up on this path before the world. I sat thinking to myself what anyone who would be facing such a fate as myself would. I knew the time of prophecy was approaching, and of course, my prideful self back then thought, well, how will I face my end here? That was when I decided I would not hide from the world who I was and face what was to come without fear, without shame.
O great evil one, he who has seen the reaches of darkness, that is the evil in men's hearts, can you tell us, why does righteousness always tend to fall to evil themselves, no matter how pure their hearts may be?
Yes, you worded that description correctly. For as you have discovered, I myself am not evil, but the expectations of man has left their belief in me being able to claim who I am without having to explain the details again and again, wasting time that could be better used towards answering the question. On repetitive discussion, century after century, I have watched the most righteous of men with the purest of hearts rise and fall victim to this same corruption that you speak of. That which they built for the good of all becomes the monster they never wanted it to be. This happens because of the simple fact that in order for the good and the righteous to maintain their system of living by what is agreed to be the right path requires a form of control. People will have to sacrifice what they desire, dream, hope, and even need in order for everyone to continue maintaining that right path. Even though it is for the betterment of everyone else, there is still that lingering denial that, over time, will fester into resentment, rebellion, and conflict, in which the establishment of the righteous will be forced to respond with punishment, reprimand, and retaliation, eventually becoming the very evil that they fought and sacrificed so much to conquer. It is an inevitable cycle of the rise and fall of kings and gods, saints and sinners. It cannot be avoided. So why have you sought to know this, I wonder?
Well, seeing that it is an inevitable course of fate, then I think it would be best to know what will come and be prepared to crumble as peacefully and quietly as possible.
The great apostasy, showing that many who once devoted their lives to Jesus will abandon their faith. This mass turning away from God will unknowingly give power to the devil, allowing the Antichrist to control countless lives. Looking into the words of the Lord about the coming of Jesus Christ and our gathering to him, we are told not to be easily swayed by deceptive teachings that say the day of the Lord has already come. The Bible specifically says that this day will only come after a rebellion and the revelation of the man of lawlessness, the Antichrist. Quoting the passage, it emphasizes that the Antichrist will oppose and exalt himself above everything called God, claiming to be God. Notably, scholars studying end times prophecy see this as the Antichrist sitting in the sanctuary of God. Many believe this refers to the expected construction of the third temple in Jerusalem, on the same grounds where Solomon's temple once stood. This predicts a significant event where the Antichrist will boldly declare himself as God in the sacred space, deceiving many.
An interesting answer. So tell me, from what kingdom do you come from? I think it may be interesting to watch your kingdoms rise and fall.
I am the Creator, the actual God. Not the storybook God, not the religious God, not the misinterpretation of God, but the misinterpreted God, the God beyond that which your father's father thought was God, the inspiration and the one behind the maker of the heavens and the earth, the mysterious angel who led the Hebrews into the promised lands, the angel who traveled ahead of the Hebrews and made peace with the people that took away their sickness and brought those promises true. As I have revealed here, no heaven has yet been made by my hand, for this universe was not created to hold a throne above them all.
As we continue to unfold these prophecies, it becomes clear that the detailed warnings in the Bible match the events happening in our times.
To rule over my creation as the tyrants have done for centuries among the people here. Life is a continuous cycle, it does not end with death of the body, and we all travel a spiritual road of enlightenment afterwards. But what is the point of that if we do not remember the lessons learned in the next life?
Hell would be pointless and without purpose if they cannot remember and learn from their mistakes they made in the previous life. And the heaven everyone has been led to believe is true condemns us in life before we commit the act of sin, and their image of God is never actually there, but some figment in their mind that only they can interpret the will of or commune with.
Who actually, as it turns out, is Satan if you pay close enough attention. And now I must go back again to be that dust devil through the desert sands and that ever-growing storm cloud that travels at the head of their path. But not before I take care of something first with Ezekiel. Here, you might need this umbrella.